straight off. Look, rated strength 3,960 psi. Yeah.
Yeah.
PSI boost.
How much is each cylinder?
I got no idea, but we're going to find out. Pull this head off, pull the head gasket out, and JB weld it back on. Pull it down tight with the head bolts, and then once it dries, we're going to pull the head bolts back out, put the cam belt back on, and see if it starts with no head bolts. I think it's going to run. Just throw it in the bin. Just burn it.
Everything's a 10 mil for some reason.
Everything on the style is 10 mil. It's the only tool you need. There's another one at the bottom there.
Oh yeah.
Another 10 mil. The easiest cars to pull apart. Just start it without any exhaust on it at all, or without any intake on it at all, and just let it rev off its tits.
For how long has this been sitting here? I mean, in your backyard?
About 6 months. Wonder if it's going to sound like the GT.
I wonder if it sounds better than the GT. How much do these make? Stock?
50 to 60 horsepower. So yeah, all that work to the GT, there wasn't really much of a gain there.
So you're going to have a limiter on it?
The rev limiter is controlled inside the computer. Reuse that. So when you look through that little hole there, it lines up with this. That's right. Cool. So this car actually blew a head gasket. That's why it's sitting in the backyard. Oh, that was the only tight one out of the lot. Oh wow, there's been some water in the motor, look at that, the valves.
Are 40 pistons smaller? Because those look pretty small.
No, they're the same size. The only thing that changes is the tops. Use this razor blade. I tell you what would be way quicker than using a razor blade. Let's get an angle grinder.
Oh, we should do that.
As soon as this gets glued on anyway, it's never coming apart again. We'll pull this piston down a bit so we don't damage that rare high comp piston.
Looks good as new.
Alright, it is time to grind off all this shit. So we'll machine this deck flat, and then when we put the JB weld on there, I don't think it's going to sit that inside anyway. Seeing as this is getting glued on with no bolts, there's no worry if this isn't straight or anything, so I'm not really fussed. We just want to grind all that gasket and shit off, so give the glue some hope of holding together. Peter, do you know what O-ringing the block is?
No.
On a performance engine? So this is an Imperial O-ring kit. We usually want to use a metric O-ring kit because this is Japanese, they use metric bolts, but that'll be okay. So you get all the O-rings and you stick them down in the holes. This is what O-ringing the block is. Yep, and you put bigger O-rings in the bigger holes, like here. Yep. O-ring the block is when you get a machined circle on the outside of each of these cylinders, and they get a special wire and run them in there, and then you put a copper head gasket on top, so then when you pull the cylinder head down it bites on really hard. So I reckon we could probably get an angle grinder and do our own O-rings in there, so when the glue bites in,
I'll go.
Oh, I've actually got a nitrous kit, we should put it on if it doesn't blow up. But what if we put the bolts in and do it up tight, and then somehow glue gets on the bolt, and then we can't get it out?
Oh, true. Are these the bolt holes?
Yep, they're the head bolt holes.
Didn't think about that. I reckon in future all heads will be glued. because of this.
Yeah. I should send Toyota a video and see if they want any help on the new cars. Save some time and money. Not having to use gaskets or bolts. JB WELD. Damn focus. We'll just empty the entire. Oh, alright, I have to be quick, I actually saw another video that someone put this in a bag. Because it was in the bag and there was no air in there, they actually had ages to mix it up before it went off. I definitely should have cut a square off this box. I'm not trying to hold a whole box in the engine bay to paint it on it. That is definitely not thin at all. Like, the clearances between the block and the cylinder head are usually pretty tight. So this probably doesn't have to be this thick. But we've got to make sure.
I'm gonna make sure it stays on there.
Yeah, got to make sure.
Quick, hit bolts.
Yeah, we're going to use the head bolts just to pull it down tight. Is it squishing out? Yeah, look at under here. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So in the block, oil comes up through that.
Yeah.
Then goes through the head bolt hole. Yeah. So if we've got no head bolt in there, that oil is just going to fly out. So we're going to need a bang. We're going to need to take the head bolt out.
Yeah.
And put like a little ball bearing or something in there and then smash it in with a hammer. Peter, I found one. I might have to drill the head bolt hole out a little bit and then hammer that in there, unless I can find a little one. See how that's there? We're gonna put it.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it in that hole. All right, see that in there now? So all pressure is not going to push that out. That's even if the head stays on long enough. Just cleaning off the residue. Single overhead cam. Oh, it's got all pressure. Whoa! Oh, well, my hammered in bung worked. Because the head bolts are going to be out, I got a little ball bearing and smashed it in the hole, and now it's coming out the other hole.
Into the head stud hole.
Yeah. We don't have to pull that cam out again because the only bolt that was in the way is under that gear, which has the...
Alright.
Hey! Alright, glued cylinder head is on. We're going to start it first with these bolts in it. And then once it runs, we're going to pull those out, pull the exhaust off, pull the intake off, and just start it and let it run. It's got some compression. Go, Peter. It sounded a bit rattly, didn't it?
Do it again. I want to hear it.
Okay, again, one more. I don't know. How good does that sound though? I want to have a go. It's good enough for me. I can hear something rattling. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, all the head bolts are out. Jammed a ball bearing in there because that's the oil gallery. We are all out and ready for explosion. Really hard to see. Front seal, 2 bolts. Don't want to do dodgy shit here. Just in this time, just hopefully stop a bit of oil.
Oh, no,